You know that sense of calm you get when you open your banking app and see a solid number with 5 zeros staring back at you? You feel safe. You feel like you've beaten the system because you have cash available at a moment's notice. Let's be real. That sense of calm is an illusion. What you think of as your financial cushion is actually a financial trap that's slowly but steadily eating away at your future. While you sleep, while you work, while you drink your morning coffee, the bank is making money off your money, and you're losing ground. Today, we're going to talk about the fatal mistake that millions of people who consider themselves cautious are making. We're going to break down why keeping more than a certain amount in the bank isn't safety, it's a voluntary surrender of wealth. And most importantly, how I'm going to give you that specific number. Most of us grew up believing that the bank is the safest place in the world. Our parents taught us, keep your money in an account and you'll be protected. But today's math tells a different story. When you keep a large sum in a regular checking or savings account, you're essentially giving the bank an interest-free loan. The bank takes your money, lends it out to someone else at 7, 10, or 15% annually, and hands you back a fraction of a percent, an amount that doesn't even keep pace with inflation. You think you have $100,000 sitting in your account? The math is brutal. Thanks to inflation, the purchasing power of that money erodes by 3, 5, sometimes even 8% every year. That means over the course of a year, you've simply handed the system several $1,000s worth of your own labor. You worked for that money, you sacrificed your time for it, and now it's working not for you, but for an institution in a high-rise office tower. So what is this magic number you should never exceed? The answer is both psychological and economic at the same time. It's your 6-month survival amount plus the deposit insurance limit. In the U.S., that limit is the FDIC coverage of $250,000. But for most of you, the line you shouldn't cross sits much lower than that. Keeping more than 6 months' worth of expenses in a regular account is financial self-sabotage. Everything above that amount is money that's just rotting. It isn't creating new options for you. It isn't giving you freedom. It's just sitting there, losing its power. And every dollar beyond that threshold is a dollar that isn't buying you assets, isn't generating dividends, and isn't protecting you against the future. Let's take a look at the psychology behind this. Why are you keeping that money there? Here's the truth. You're afraid. Your fear of losing what you already have is stronger than your logic. You call it being careful, but let's be honest. It's paralysis. When you see a big number in your bank account, you're buying yourself a feeling of control. But real control isn't about hoarding. It's about movement. Real control is when your money is allocated in a way that makes it work across multiple scenarios. If you have, say, $100,000 in the bank and your monthly expenses run $5,000, you have 20 months of runway. But that money is dead capital. Over 10 years, factoring in inflation, those $100,000 will shrink to the equivalent of $70,000 in purchasing power. You will have effectively lost $30,000 simply for the privilege of feeling secure. That's an awfully high price to pay for psychological comfort. So what should you do if you've accumulated more than that amount? How do you stop working for free on behalf of your bank? Step 1, divide your capital into live money and future money. Live money is your emergency fund. Keep it in the bank, but choose a high-yield savings account where the interest rate at least comes close to matching inflation. Everything beyond 6 months of your expenses is future money. Step 2, invest in assets that can't simply be printed. Bank account numbers are just entries in a database. Shares in successful companies, real estate, gold, or index funds. These are real stakes in the economy. When you hold money in assets, you own a piece of the world. When you hold money in a bank, you own a promise, one that's losing value every day. Step 3. Overcome the fear of taking that first step. Most people don't invest not because it's complicated, but because they're afraid of seeing red numbers on the market. But remember, inflation is a guaranteed loss. The market is a probable gain. Which is better, to be guaranteed to get poorer a little every day, or to have a strong likelihood of being wealthier a year from now? Step 4. Diversify your security. Real security isn't one big account. It's having multiple layers: insurance, liquid investments, real estate, and of course, a small cash reserve. If you're keeping all your eggs in one banking basket, you're maximally exposed to systemic risks, the kind we usually prefer not to think about. Hi, I'm Nicolina. My area of focus is financial psychology. I'm searching for the answer to one core question: what exactly in our mindset becomes either a springboard to wealth or an invisible cage that keeps us locked out of the next level for years on end? So picture your life 5 years from now. You could be the person proudly staring at that same number in your banking app, not realizing it's already worth far less than it used to be. Or you could be the person who made a deliberate decision today, pulled those extra dollars out of inflation's path, and put them to work. Real financial freedom begins where blind faith in the banking system ends. Money in the bank is like water in a glass. You need it to quench your thirst right now. But if you want to grow a garden, you have to pour that water into the soil so it can give life to something new. The math is brutal, but it's honest. Don't let your fear dictate your financial decisions. Look at your account today. If there's more in there than your 6-month survival amount, you're making a fatal mistake. Stop sponsoring bank bonuses with your future. Start building your own wealth right now.